Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of Hermits and Crafting. And as you can see, Natural Arch has had an addition, and that, of course, is a prank by the GoodTimesWithScar. And he put some amazing cat heads up here as kind of homage to maybe a little bit of cat Rushmore or something along those lines, and I absolutely love it. I don't know where he got the idea for the cats. Like, it's not like I have a lot of cats. I have a couple cats. It's not like it's a big deal or anything, but I have way too many cats. I'll admit it, I've got a problem. But anyway, my friends, let's get right into today's episode. So we got to thank Iskal. Like, that's amazing. I absolutely love those cat heads, and they're super well done. As you can see, we did some more landscaping on our last live stream, so I think that came out really cool. I'm still thinking about lowering the height of a couple of these trees. And then, of course, we have more to do over there, and it looks like we've got a sneaky witch. Oh, little witch, you thought you could get me, but no. Anyway, my friends, let's head deep into Scar's wilderness outpost. It's now kind of like a wilderness now. It used to be a frontier, but now we have so many plants and foliage, it feels more of a wilderness now. But as you can see, we now have our cook. Derp Industries has delivered us our brand new cook. Look at it. He's absolutely amazing. Look at his face. I love it. So what do we have here? Mob delivery service provided by Derp. Mandatory tips are generously accepted at Derp HQ. I can see they're mandatory and they're also generously accepted. I love it. Haha, that's super awesome. But yeah, so we'll head on over there and of course give them their tips. That is accepted on a generous basis, but also is mandatory. Aha, I love it. All right, and the other thing we need to do while we're over here, before we get to our main project today, is of course name our skeleton horse. So you guys gave me a ton of amazing suggestions for a name, and the one that I have chosen is Skeleton. I absolutely love it. It's kind of got a scar. It's got a little bit of skeleton in it. It's very amazing. So as you can see, we now have Skeleton. Haha, Skeleton's amazing. So thank you so much for all those wonderful ideas. And as we kind of through this little trail through here, this, of course, is going to be one of our next projects. And, of course, it's going to be a super awesome mine. So this will be a working mine, but it'll have some cool little decorations that will lead through here. We'll have a cool little entrance. And then on top of here, we're going to have this cool little gold mine thing that I saw in Idaho and that I want to build here. And I think that'll look really cool on top of here. And then it'll have a bridge kind of leading out here and going into that side of the mountain. And I think it'll be super amazing, but we have plenty of work to do today here in Scar's Enchanted Tool Forge project, so that's what we're going to work on now. So let's head on over to the Market District. All right, and welcome back to the Brown Market District here on a stormy day. And we need to head over to Derp Industries before we get into our project today, which is to add character to Scar's Enchanted Tool Forge. And as you can see, this was also pranked. It's got the pirate patch, the ears, and the gold teeth. Can't forget about the gold teeth, of course. So let's head into here and let's add our mandatory tip of generosity to here. So first thing we got 32 diamonds. Do you guys feel like this is a pretty good payment for the mob? I feel like it's pretty good. They did go do quite a bit of work. Now, they were mentioning that they were kind of low on iron, so I've got some iron for them. And just for fun, I have got no use for this redstone. So why don't I generously, mandatorily donate it to Derp Industries because I think they can put it to better use than I can at least. All right, there we go. So that is our tip. Let me know if this was enough because I actually don't know. So thank you for the new cook. There we go. Oh, cool. Yes, thank you for the new cool. Very awesome. All right, there we go. Scar. And that's my sign off. There we go, my friends. I think that's pretty good. So let's get started here. And it looks like it's very rainy and stormy today. But there's Scar's Enchanted Tool Forge in front of us there. And I think it came out pretty good. I like our sides we have on here. It looks plenty of good detail and all of those different things. But one thing we need to work on is the character of the build. And that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to add some dormer windows. We're going to add some cool little elements to the sides of the house. And of course, the forge, of course. So let's get right into it. So first thing we need to do, we need to scaffold on up here. And I also added an extra row of milk chocolate along there. I think that looks really cool. So I think that actually is like a really subtle, but a really cool addition. I'll give you a little more perspective on that in a moment. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start kind of growing this section outwards like so. So I'm just gonna jump down here ever so slightly. There we go. And then let's see, I'm going to go down to here like that, bring that piece out like that. And I'm going to cut this one out like so. There we go. And as you can see, this one just goes out like that. So right in this little alcove that we're building, from here, we're gonna have our forge kind of sticking out right here. And I think that's gonna look really, really cool and really just add a little more character to the build. You know, we can make a nice kind of structure, but what we're trying to work on now is adding the character, trying to get that all assembled and ready to go. So, all right, I'm gonna cut this piece out. Now this piece is going to do that. So we're just gonna replace that. Come on there, little guy. There you go. And yeah, let's clear out our scaffolding. Yeah, that'll look really cool. It kind of has a nice little slope down. I think that'll look really nice. So, all right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sneak on back here, okay? So we're gonna sneak back here, and what we're gonna do is we're going to attach right here. So right there should be a little bit of wood showing right there, a little bit of bark. There we go. And then I'm going to extend this outwards like that, and then bring it down here like so. And then of course we'll cut out that excess piece that's down there. Now I will have to remove a couple of these eventually, because I'm going to do like a colored insert. I'm going to use a little bit of cyan clay, not a lot, just a little bit, just as a little color insert. There we go. And as you can see, there's kind of like a basic shape that we have going. And I think that'll look really cool once we get a little more into it, I suppose. There we go. Because I know it looks a little hokey at this moment. But we got this. We got this, my friends. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to try to figure out how to insert our cyan clay like we have, if I can show it to you, kind of like over there. I really, really like this design where we take, you know, a couple different elements and really kind of make these walls. Like instead of just having a blank standard wall, look at the detail all arranged in there. It looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, give me a second here. Let me try to figure out how I want to arrange this, because as you can see, it's sticking up over here. This is what I want, like back here. And let me just jump down ever so slightly. As you can see, something like that. Yeah, so give me 1 second. Let me kind of work on this and I'll be right back. All right, and I tried quite a few ways that this roof design I had failed. So I've got an idea finally, and I think this will work out. So jump up here with me here. And as you can see, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this guy, we're gonna push it back. See, I was putting the hardened clay on this row across here. That's what I originally intended, but I need to actually push it back one more like this, and you'll get an idea of why in just a minute. That's temporary, sneaky block, and then put that across there like that. And then this one needs to actually follow that same plane, and that's where I was getting kind of hung up a little bit. So, my friends, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna bring these guys across here like this. There we go. Hopefully this in the end works here. So as you can see, that's our design. That's what we want. I just needed to take that one section and keep it on the same plane going across there like that. And it worked out just perfect. There we go, looking good, my friends. Now you might be wondering, Scar, but what about the exposed underneath side? And that's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue. Fully acknowledge that. That's gonna be an issue. But we're gonna work through it. We're gonna work through it, and we're gonna get through it. So, some of you guys have been asking, what do we have in store for future project within Hermitcraft? So let's talk about the future projects. And I'm pretty excited about them because, hello, Scar. That's incorrect. See, this is where it gets a little tricky. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go like this, and it's just going to make this look a little bit better. I think it's just kind of like a cool little band that goes down the side like that. I think that'll look pretty cool, and we'll figure out something for this side over here. I haven't decided 100% there. And then as you can see down here, I'm going to drop this down once again like that. How we did it on the other side like that. There we go. Swoop over here. Put that one down like that. So yeah, future projects. So like we talked about, I would like to build that mine. I think that would be really fun. Other projects within the world, Scar's landscaping and design services here in the Market District. I think that'll be a fun thing for like little landscape projects or little builds that people might not want to do that I might want to do. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. So I think that'd be a really fun idea. I need a better name, but there's lots of little projects that people just don't like to do that I kind of like doing, especially landscaping things. Like people are like, oh, landscaping. Hate that part. But for me, I'm like, ooh, landscaping. What could I do? Let me get my hands on that. So yeah, I think that would be kind of a fun little thing. Especially the Mason needs a lot of landscaping here and there. And nobody really wants to waste all of their time doing that. Whereas I like to do that. So that'll be pretty fun. Let's see. I think that looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down maybe another one of these rows that we did on the other side, just to kind of match the front. See how we did that? I think that looks really cool. After we finish that project, let's see. Let me move over here and just get a quick bird's eye view. Let's just move this like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. I don't like this, so I'm going to remove that. And then I might actually take out like something like that and do it like that. Yeah, there we go. That's what that needed. I needed something to kind of break up that corner and let everything kind of flow together. I think that looks really cool. So this under section here is pretty unsightly, so I kind of want to work on this just a little bit here. So yeah, other projects. What other projects do we have in store? So yeah, landscaping design, that the under section of our tents. That's been something I've been planning on doing for a long time, but I just haven't quite got around to it yet. So we want to add more of a survival base under our tents. Now, the main thing we need to work on, of course, is increasing our capacity of storage. I'm actually going to maybe run something like this on this under section like this. I think this actually will look pretty good, and it'll keep everything just a little cleaner and a little bit nicer under here. So it's maybe something like that. What we could do is maybe go like this, run this piece down here like that. That might be a little much. At the most, we could maybe even take this and run that across there. What do you guys think of that? Does that look okay? Yeah, look at that. I think that looks really cool, actually. So yeah, I think that looks really nice. We're going to come back to here in just a minute, but let's move on to our dormer windows. I think that would be really cool. So yeah, the under section, I want that to be more of a kind of a survival based style thing. You know, have all their little elements under there, but I haven't quite decided exactly what that fully entails yet. So you guys gave me some great suggestions, so I'm kind of working through those and trying to come up with something I think you guys would like to watch. There we go. So there we go. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to place a post like that, and then I'm going to sneak over here and get, oh no! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Bob the Creeper, building inspector. My gosh, that was horrible. How much damage did he? Oh, he destroyed much things, my friends. He destroyed much. Oh, Bob, you sneaky, sneaky little Bob, the building creeper inspector. So give me 1 second. Let me kind of clean this all up, and I'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. And as you can see, I've got everything cleaned back up. Oh, those Bob the Building Creeper inspectors. And you all wonder why I have so many cats. Haha, there we go. So let's put these guys back up here like so. And then let's see, let's start opening this up like we were originally going to do. And I probably should have double checked to make sure there was nobody in here. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. So as you can see, we want to bring these up to about 3 blocks high. And then what I want to do is jump back up here, and I'm going to put that row back in, and then I'm going to sneak this row out, I think. We may change that, but I'm going to remove that row right there. Looking good, my friends, looking good. So then I'm going to sample this, and I'm going to indent this in 1 block like so. There we go. And I think this will make a really nice kind of little entrance there. Is this 3 blocks? I think I'm going to leave it at 3. I think I'm going to, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to put these guys like that and start cutting these ones along there like that. I think that'll look really cool. So yeah, I think this will be a really nice dormer kind of style window up here. And it just adds just a little more character to the roof line. It makes everything just a little bit nicer. There we go. Cut that piece in there. Come on. There you go. There you go. Bring that one over to there. Bring this one on top. Oh, hello. That's odd. Wonder why I did that. There we go. Bring that one over here. Awesome. All right. We'll jump back over here and then finish this one off. And then we should just do a slight overhang. So we do that, just a little bit of an overhang on that side. I think that'll look nice. So do that on there and then sneak back over here. And then we'll do it on this side. One thing I'm contending with is this right here. That looks a little bit hokey. So we might want to see if we can remove that if possible. I don't know if that's even possible or not, but we can try. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect to that piece right there. And then we're going to bring this all the way outwards like so. And I'm going to jump down here. I'm just going to give myself just a bit of scaffolding. There we go. And then let's just finish this piece right here. Cut that piece in there. Come on. These pieces, these like slabs are not working out how I want them today. So put that one like that. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to place a sneaky block right there. I'm going to run this outwards, connect it like, let's do one more here. All right. So as you can see, we are slowly running out of dark oak wood, and I got 2 diamonds. We might have to go over to the birch fellows. And look at that. There's some like little, symbols. I don't even want to get involved with any of this stuff, but apparently we might actually have to head over there and actually buy some because I'm running very, very low on wood. But yeah, I'm still neutral in the log wars, Nobody stole my logs, so why do I have to complain? I got nothing to complain about. Nobody stole my saplings. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm still neutral in the whole thing. There we go. Put that across there. And let's see. Yeah, that looks decent. And then let me jump over here, grab this. There we go. And bring this up like that. And how do you guys like that? I think that could be a really cool design. Let's jump in here and we'll replace that block like, oh, no, my friends. Let's cut that piece out. And then let's grab our stained glass. There we go. Grab our stained glass. and then we'll run that in the interior like that and see how that looks. I like it, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna remove this block right here. I'm gonna replace it with that. And then this piece down here, I want to do maybe a row of dark oak. I think a little bit of dark oak in this section will enhance it ever so slightly if I can actually grab the right pieces that I want. So what I'm thinking about is something like this, that, and that. There we go. And then of course, let me jump under here and just add a quick bit of hardened clay. If I can get it into the right spot. Come on, little hardened clay. I want you right under here. I want you right under here. So let me just do a little bit of scaffolding block and put that down like there. And once we work on the interior, oh, that looks way better. But adding that slight row of dark chocolate, that really enhanced it. I'm even thinking if we could even do a small bit of dark chocolate under this section. But for now, I think that looks pretty good. So let's jump down here and kind of get an idea on how this all is flowing together. And I'm on a mystery block. I'm on a mystery 1.9 ghost block. Those blocks are so obnoxious and they're so much worse than 1.9. Oh yeah, that looks much better. And see how we were talking about adding that extra bit of character to the build. Now you might be wondering, this side it looks ever so boring, Scar, and that is very true. But once we get the landscaping in this side will also come together. And let me add one more dormer roof. All right, and welcome back. And as you can see, our beautiful windows are installed. We have our nice little overhang, and there's lots of extra little things to put in here and there. And there's another one of the ghost blocks there. But as you can see, we have another window on that side. But one thing we need to start working on is kind of adding a foundation for our floor in here. And this, of course, is where the forge and all those cool things are going to go. So I want to start building up the landscape here. And the first thing we want to start with this area, of course, is to get it all filled in with stone. And there we go. So now we got the stone here. So what I want to do now is just kind of wrap that pattern that we have around all of the big columns around this little guy right here. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit of detail here and there. And as you can see, we can kind of dig down here and there and kind of add a little more detail like that. And then maybe we can even sneak around here and add some detail like that. Awesome. So now all these little sections right here, and we'll just kind of cut in here, little round places like that, and just start to add little blocks like that. Now you might be wondering, Ska, well, why did you put down the floor if you're just gonna cut it all out? I don't know. This is the way I work, I guess. I like to see a blank slate. Sometimes it refreshes my mind, I guess, if you will. So if I see like a blank slate on the ground like this, I can see in my head more clearly where I want to put all the blocks, instead of just start adding these randomly into the clay. I don't know, this is the way my brain kind of works. Like I'd like to see a blank canvas, and then sometimes that just helps. Like when we add walls to, you know, builds and stuff like that, I really do like to see the, I like to see the walls first, and then I can kind of carve it in before I actually kind of, you know, if I add the windows here or there, I like to just do that. I don't know if that makes any sense. How do you guys like to do it? I just like to see a big blank slate like that. And then from there, I can usually add the details that I want to. There we go. And as you can see, I think that looks pretty cool. See, it's all kind of mixed up and haphazard. And then from here, what I want to do is this part right here is where I want to do an entrance. So let's see. So it's not going to be perfectly symmetrical. So we're going to go off right here. And then we're going to cut into here like so. Careful about those Bob the Building Creeper inspectors. Here we go. Jump in here. Clear. We're clear. We're like a tactical force moving in here, making sure it's clear. All right, so that looks good from there. And then what we could do too is maybe just cut out these sections right here and just give this just a little more design. And we're gonna have to go to the birch, fellas. It's inevitable, my friends. We're gonna have to go and get some more oak. Here we go. Put these guys along here like that. And this is just kind of like a, you know, an employee entrance into and out of the forge. And then of course, this will be the interior of the shop. But there we go. That is looking good, my friends. We finally have our forge area set up and ready to go. We have our little overhang, we have our window, and let's take a look on this side and see how this part all came together. And there we go, my friends. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this build. I'm having a lot of fun kind of coming up with all sorts of little different designs. Like I love this little arch here. I think that it kind of really adds a lot of character to the build, and I really hope you guys are enjoying it also. Sorry I cut the video down just a little bit today. I'm just not feeling quite well, so I want to kind of wrap up the video now. And thank you so much for watching. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. Here is Dear Derp, we at Scar's Frontier Outpost are in need of a new book. The camp's last cook died of food poisoning. We request the new cook to be placed inside the cook's chuck wagon. We also would like the mob to be named...